students, welcome to the online session for the subject of industrial safety. These are the virtual classes for the subject of industrial safety. The subject of industrial safety is mainly for the students of civil engineering, particularly structural engineering and mechanical engineering. So here we will be discussing all the topics that are related to the subject of industrial safety. So now we will be starting with our session. So 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Hello students. Welcome to our online session of industrial safety subject. This is the subject of semester 3 for the students of mechanical engineering and structural engineering. Okay, so we are now in module number 1. We have done previously 5 sessions regarding the industrial safety subject. Now we are in the 6th session. Okay, so basically we are doing all those topics that are required for GTU syllabus. Okay. So we are now present in the module number 1. There we have done many topics and we are proceeding further. So in last lecture we have done the Factories Act 1948, where we have done the health uh, topics, health section of the 1948 Factories Act. Now we are moving towards the safety. Okay. Yes. So the silent points of the Factories Act 1948 for health and safety. We are continuing with that topic, and in today's session, here we are doing with the safety. Chapter number 5, chapter number 4 of Factories Act 1948 deals with the provisions relating to the safety of the workers in the factory. So basically, this chapter number 5 of Factories Act 1948 deals with the safety of the workers that are working into the factory. The contents we are covering in this session will be fencing of the machinery, work on or near machinery in motion, employment of young persons and dangerous machines, striking gears and devices for cutting off powers, self-acting machines, prohibition of the employment of women and children near the cotton openers, hoists and lifts. Hoists and lifts. There will be also discussed. I'm sorry for repeating. Now, first of all, fencing and machinery. That is given in section number 21 of Factories Act 1948. According to this section 21 of the Factories Act 1948, in every factory, a dangerous part of all the machinery should be securely fenced. Means a proper care should be taken related to every dangerous part in the factory. All the factories have some dangerous operations, means parts that are very much critical and dangerous. So their proper fencing is required to be done so that it is properly observed and precautions should be made before the danger any hazard occurs. The section provides for fencing of the following machinery while they are in section means it is this section provides a fencing the following machinery when they are in use. Every moving part of the prime mover and every flywheel connected to the prime mover, whether the prime mover or flywheel or is in the engine or hoist. The head race and the tail race of the every water wheel and water turbine. Any part of the stock bar which project beyond headstock of the lathe and the following should be securely fenced. That is every part of the electric generator, a motor or a rotary converter, every part of the transmission machinery and every dangerous part of every machinery. These all things are required to be properly fenced so that any kind of a during accident no big hazard takes place. And as a result of this, the life of the workers working in the factory will be saved. Work on or near the machinery in motion. Examination shall be carried out only by specially trained male workers. Means proper trained workers are required, especially the male workers are required for carrying out the examination of the machines and all the things. They should wear tight fitting clothes. They should not wear loose clothes so that it's come in contact with the machinery when they are operating with these machines. So they should wear the tight. Such workers shall not handle a belt at a moving pulley. No woman or a young person shall be allowed to clean or lubricate or adjust any part of the prime mover. Employment of the young person on the dangerous section. Okay, it's dangerous machine. Then this whole employment of the young person on the dangerous machines is given in section number 23 of the Factories Act 1948. In section 3, provides the young person shall be required or allowed to work at any time to which he has been fully instructed, as the dangers arising in connection with the machines and precautions shall is required to be observed, and has received sufficient training in work of the machine. Inadequate supervision by the person who has through knowledge and experience of the person. Means proper things are required to be carried out. Means a person is which is involved in the operation should have sufficient training in work at the machine. Means he should have proper skill of work, and he should be under the supervision of the person who has the thorough knowledge and experience of the machine. Striking gear and device for cutting off power. This is given in section number 24. Section number 24 provides that suitable striking gears or other efficient mechanical appliance shall be maintained and used to move driving belt to and from fast and loose pulleys, which form part of the transmission machinery, and such gear or appliance shall be so constructed, placed, and maintained so as to prevent the belt from creeping back onto the fast pulley. Further, driving belts, when not in use, shall be allowed to be rest and ride upon shafting in motion. Besides this, every factory suitable devices for cutting of powers in emergencies from running machinery shall be provided and maintained in every work room. So this is how the striking gears and device cutting of powers is required to be done. A self-acting machine, and the clause is given in section number 25 in Factories Act 1940. No traversing part of the self-acting machine in any factory and no material carried thereon shall, if no space is available over which it runs, is a space over which any person is liable to pass, whether in the course of his employment or otherwise, be allowed to run on its outwards and inward transverse within the distance of 45 centimeters from the fixed structure which is not a part of the machine. So this is how the self-acting machine is required to be operated. Prohibition of the employment of women and children near the cotton openers. So in any part of the factory where cotton openers is at a work for pressing cotton, no woman or child is required to be employed at this place, provided that the inspector may be in particular case specifying in writing that the woman and the children should be employed on the side of the partition where the feed end is situated. So basically this in section number 27, this says that in case of the place where the cotton openers is being used, there no woman and the child should be employed. And if it is required to be employed, then inspector at a particular place specifies in writing that why those women or children are employed. So proper writing should be made for a reason why they have employed the woman and the children at the place of the curtain opener. Hoists and the lifts. Every hoist and every lift shall be good mechanical construction. Means hoist and the lifts are basically used for lifting the machine. In factories, the hoisting equipment and lifting equipment are very much required for the lifting of the bulk of bunch of the materials that are being constructed in the industry. So yes, every hoist and the lift shall be good mechanical construction, sound material, adequate strength, properly maintained and protected by the enclosure within the fitted glades. Okay, so basically, the hoist and the lifting should be of good mechanical construction. They should be properly designed. They should be sound designed. They should be adequately designed. They should be made up of the sound material. The quality product material is required to be used for the construction of the hoists and the lifts. The hoists and the lift should have adequate strength, and that is obviously obtained when they are properly designed. So by doing so, the hoist and the lifts will be properly having the strength. It should be properly maintained. The oiling is required to be done regularly. The varnishing or any kind of the maintaining work, the painting work, the oiling work, that is required. Such kind of works is required to be carried out regularly, so that the hoisting will be maintained. So operation will not be get blocked while it is in use. So by doing so, the maintenance of the uh, hoists and the lifts will be made, and they should be properly worked. They should be protected by the enclosure fitted in the gates. So it should be protected from the enclosures that are fitted into the gates, and they should be thoroughly examined by a competent person. So after it is being constructed, it should be properly examined while moving on the girders, while moving on the in industrial shades, then while moving on the crane girders, while lifting, while moving of the hooks, uh, or by moving of the bucket for the lifting purpose. All the things is required to be properly examined by a competent person who has the sound knowledge of this equipment. So by doing so, we will be getting the proper hoist for our work. Okay. Now next, lifting machines, chains, ropes, and lifting tackles. That is given in section number 29. Every lifting machines and every chains, ropes, lifting tackles for the purpose of raising or lowering the person, goods or materials, all parts including the work gear, whether fixed or movable, or every lifting machine, every chains, ropes, or lifting tackle should be good construction, sound materials, and adequate strength, and free of the defects. It should be properly made. So all the lifting machines, chains, ropes, lifting tackles should be made up of sound material and adequate strength, and it should be free from the defects, so that while working, there is no dangerous related to its use. So by doing so, we can get a proper equipment. Okay, and obviously by doing so, the maintenance will get reduced. And if the maintenance is reduced, then the design, we can say that there will be less expense on the maintenance work. Means regular maintenance is required to be done, but no extra maintenance will be taken care. Protection from the eye. Prescribed process should be taken, which involves the risk of the injury to the eyes from the particles or fragments thrown off in the course of process or a risk to the eye by reason of exposure to excessive light. Effective screens or suitable goggles should be provided for the protection of the person employed. The state government may prescribe the number of the latrines or urinals for the factory. So basically, we can say that factories are also being provided with latrines, and the next thing that is the protection. So protection from the eyes is required to be done. Precautions against the dangerous gases and fumes. No person should be allowed to enter any chamber, tank, vat, pit, pipe, flue, or other gases confined space in any factory in which the gas, fumes, vapors, or dust are likely to be present. So this is all related to the safety of the workers, and these all things are given in the section Factories Act 1948. So thank you for attending this session. I will be meeting you in the next session. Thanks for attending.
Hello students, so hereby we are coming to the end of our virtual class session of the subject of industrial safety. We have discussed a lot regarding the topics of the today's session. So if you have any kind of a doubts, if you have any kind of queries, you can send me your doubts and queries via mail. My mail ID will be in my channel. So check into my channel, like it, and mail me whatever the doubts you have. And thanks again for attending the session. See you in the next session.